Hi, Ameena. How are you?
Good, Julie. How are you today?
I'm super. And we've got a new offering out there for the dental practice teams, and that is a course online just focused on dental reception.
That's right, Julie. And we know that the dental reception position in a dental practice can make the world of difference to the productivity, efficiency, success of the dental practice is a super, super important role.
It really is an important role. And we've got our 8 big reasons why it's such an important role. And the dental receptionist mastery course has been specifically designed by us to address each one of those areas. So let's go through those areas one at a time, and we'll start to give people an indication of the kind of things that receptionists will learn within this course. And the course itself has 50 lessons involved with it. That's 9 hours of content. And so people are going to be getting a very comprehensive amount of information to be able to apply into the dental practice role that they're currently fulfilling and start getting results straight away.
That's right. And investing time, energy, and money into becoming really, really good at this very important position is something not to be blinked at, really.
That's for sure. That's for sure. So, one of the first reasons why we believe the role of the dental practice receptionist is just so crucial to your organisation is that they are the front facade of your practice. They're the ones giving people a very strong impression of what your dental practice is all about. And their ability to really maintain the messaging that you've got out there to the world of who you are, how you're different from everybody else. People need to be able to get that from the receptionist to see that consistency and start developing trust with your practice straight away. A quick example is if you were a pedodontist and your website, your Facebook page, all of your promotions was around being really fun and excited about seeing kids and helping them have great positive experiences, yet they ring up the dental practice and these potential patients have all these ideas and expectations in their brain just because of your promotions so far. And they get a receptionist on the phone who can't build rapport, can't communicate effectively, is very stern and doesn't sound child-friendly at all.
That's right. And when we think about this role, there's a very big gap between the person that's employed and popped on the front desk to take payments, make appointments, that sort of thing, answer the telephone. However, if we look at somebody who really excels in that area, like when you go to the Marriott or the Sofitel and they train their staff really, really well, and you get this whole different level of service, that has to have an impact on your patients returning and feeling comfortable and not seeing the point of difference between your practice and another practice. And for the receptionist, like what's in it for me, you will become the best you can at what you do, enable yourself to have more a positive effect on the practice, and in turn, possibly increase your salary capacity, as well as if you're somebody who's aspiring to be a practice manager, you're heading in the right direction by investing your time in this learning.
That's for sure. So that's our first reason of 8 why we think the dental receptionist is so crucial to your organisation, is that they foster the image of your practice. The second reason is follow-up. So a switched-on receptionist who's got good systems in place, they have got a very good process in terms of following up incomplete treatment patients that didn't book in, following up surgical patients that need TLC phone calls. If a patient leaves and they've had a bit of a complaint or a gripe, then they're ringing up the next day just saying, did we help satisfy your need eventually yesterday? We're pleased we were able to extend ourselves to make sure that you were a satisfied patient. And so follow-up is a real key part of the dental receptionist position.
Yes, nurturing your current patient base is super, super important, and much easier to get patients back in if they like, know and trust you than trying to spend thousands of dollars on marketing and relying only on new patients who are in and out because things weren't done well enough at your practice.
Yeah, yeah. So follow-up's the second reason. The third reason is daily operations. You think about your dental practice if it had a very experienced, switched-on receptionist at the front desk in comparison to somebody that had never sat on the reception desk before and didn't know how to make sure that the daily operations of the day were going to be running smoothly. A wild, vast difference. And so with daily operations, we've got training within this dental practice receptionist mastery course to help receptionists have these systems in place and the tools in place to be able to assess the flow of the day, making sure that gaps are being filled in the appointment book, that the confirmations are always being done, that the patients are turning up when they're supposed to be turning up, that if you're running late in the surgery, she's figuring that out and then calling the next patient saying, oh, you can, come maybe 10 minutes later. So this daily operation of making sure they're constantly assessing in the moment, is everything happening the way it should be, and making plans around that if it's not, that's crucial to be able to run a stress-free, productive environment.
And we only know what we know. A lot of these people have just sort of ended up on the front desk by default and never had proper training.
That's for sure. That's for sure. And you're absolutely right. Most people don't go through a training program and then fulfill the position. They fulfill the position and learn as they go. And anything they've learned to date from other receptionists, they can bring with them to that role. However, there's so much more to know. There are so many other ways and things you can implement into your day to really help you from an operational perspective as well as all other perspectives.
And sometimes they haven't learned in the best way in the first instance.
That's true. That's true. Another reason why we think dental receptionists are just so crucial to your organisation is that they help to convert new callers into actual appointment times. Meaning, how much time, energy, money is spent on marketing?
Thousands and thousands of dollars just to get one patient in the door. And how annoying when you see, or hear more so, the person at the front desk, the patient's ring up, no, we're busy today, sorry. And not converting those calls.
Yeah, and being frustrated by that rather than thinking, I think this person possibly could benefit from a whole bunch more training. And so it's always our advice that if you're spending any money on marketing at all, you have to also be investing time and energy into the dental receptionists, that they are being trained in how to actually convert those new callers coming in into the actual appointment book. Otherwise, it doesn't matter how much you spend, they're all being blocked at that reception.
Absolutely.
Another reason why we think that dental receptionists are so crucial to your organisation is their ability to build rapport. I've certainly been blessed to have witnessed and worked with many great dental receptionists. Their ability to show compassion, friendliness. The minute the patient walks in the door, everyone's face lights up and they, really enjoy this interplay with one another. It's just such a crucial part of the role. And Manny, I don't know if you've come across this in the past, but when you try to encourage some new receptionists to, be a bit more chatty and rapport building with patients, they say, oh, that's just not my style. And, everything is foreign until it's familiar. And so this ability to understand how to build rapport and how to communicate effectively with patients, help them to feel at ease straight away, help them to feel more trusting of your organisation. Then once you've learned those skills, you too can start to establish these really strong relationships with patients. And it's really quite amazing that when a changeover of ownership happens at a practice, a lot of the patients may end up being happy about it, even though they're going to miss their dentist, as long as that receptionist stays, I know I'm going to be well looked after.
That's right. I can remember one receptionist in particular that I've worked with over the years. Everybody loved her. On her birthday, patrons would come into the practice, not even for an appointment, just to give her her birthday present.
Wow.
So the practice was so dependent on her because everybody loved her. I'm sure they loved the clinicians as well, but I don't think it would have been too much of an issue with new clinicians because they loved tenure.
I love that. And if tenure wasn't tenure, then patients, as you say, they may continue to come in, But then we've lost this magnificent opportunity to have that very caring, professional relationship where patients have that ability to have complete faith in the whole organisation, not just that dentist. And I know that with my development when I was on reception, so much of it was like the level of confidence, the words you use, the kind of connection you build up with patients. It was simply through observation of that great receptionist that, I'd worked with at various different places. There have been various great ones in my life. And so when you do have somebody who's building up those skills on reception, it does play a role in how effective other team members, just through observation and subconscious learning, how they actually end up interacting with patients as well.
Absolutely.
Another reason why dental reception is such a crucial role in your organisation is that they help patients overcome barriers. Barriers such as, I can't afford it. Well, let me talk to you about our payment plans. I'm way too anxious. Well, let me tell you about what we do with really anxious patients. Any barrier that they have, I can't find a time in the schedule. I need to come outside of hours. Any problem that they have in terms of trying to book an appointment time, that would just remain a problem without a great receptionist on the front desk, and they would leave without an appointment time. However, great receptionists catch those people and help them overcome these barriers and actually get their treatment done.
I was speaking with a dental receptionist today that was having problems. They're a swamped practice. They've got busyness issues, too many patients, only 2 surgeries, and, months long of waiting. And so the dentist was getting really frustrated about the patients who she's asked for a 50-minute appointment. She squeezes them into a 40-minute, everyone's running late, all this sort of thing. So being trained with all the options as to how to manage those types of situations, like don't feel pressured, pop them on a standby list, make an appointment 6 weeks out. Most likely you'll be able to get them in sooner than that. So building strategies and systems like that within the practice can make a huge difference.
They really do. And with all of the systems that we share within this mastery course, they have clear insights behind them. And so dental team members that are sitting on reception, that are participating in this training, they're not going to just learn the system. They're going to learn why we need the system in the first place and the thinking behind it. So if that specific system doesn't work in that organisation, they know how to tweak it and make it work for that organisation. Because reception really is, there are so many roles within the dental practice that are like this. It's just a whole bunch of systems that you're rolling through every day. We've got very clear systems for the dentist. We've got very clear systems for the dental assistant. We can also have very clear systems for reception.
And I think one of the biggest reasons a dental receptionist, more than any other role in the practice, needs good systems is because they are the ones that are completely distracted and disturbed every few minutes. Often a clinician or a DA will get 30 to 40 minutes with that one patient doing that one thing, but you don't get that at the front desk, do you?
That's true. That's true. And without systems, you're just in constant reaction to the space around you and to the things going on around you. So that's a really crucial point, that the expectations that we have on the receptionist are often higher than what their capability is, especially if they're growing into that role. Providing the support and the training is going to bring them up to speed real quickly and make sure that those expectations aren't, in fact, unrealistic. There's something to aspire to and learn how to actually achieve that kind of outcome. Another reason why dental receptionists are just so crucial to your environment is because of team function. You were saying just before, Meanie, in the surgery, the dentist and the nurse are the ones that are kind of bouncing off each other and working with one another. The receptionist seems to be the one that gets access to everybody all the way through the day. And you can find it quite difficult if you're a DA in surgery 1, communicating with DA in surgery 2. How do you do it? You've got internal messaging and things like that, but it requires you to have ungloved hands and a moment to be able to tap away and taking your attention away from the dentist and the current patient in the chair. And so if that receptionist is got great systems and has the time to be able to devote to team, they can provide a really crucial role. I remember back when I was a receptionist at the practice I had back in from 2003 to 2013, I became the go-between for everybody. People knew that they could just stick their head out the door and say, I need my steri done, or I need something from surgery too, or can you ring that patient quickly and say that we're running 10 minutes late? And if you've got somebody who has got everything under control at the front desk, they can fulfill that position, that role within the organisation, and really facilitate effective teamwork. So just because people are unavailable in the moment to go ahead and carry out a task themselves, in the moment, it can still be done or managed in some way.
That's right. And they often need to think, for many people, because they will sometimes have younger trainee staff or junior dental assistants coming to them with issues. They have to troubleshoot a lot. So they do have a lot of things thrown at them. And plus, they are the venting ground often.
Oh, that's for sure. Yes.
So that's another aspect that they have to manage, and they have to know just to listen and not to engage all the time and all those sorts of things, because they do get handed with a lot more than what we give them credit for or that we think about.
Yeah, that's super. And this is, one of those things, if you've got somebody who's a little bit self-aware and experienced on the front desk, when people do come at them with a bit of a vent here, a bit of a vent there, they're helping to calm the situation down. They're there to help that person still feel supported, even though they don't feel supported in the steri room, for example. And they're helping that only the issues that really do need attention, that action is taken, the right person gets told about it, but the other stuff, it's just going to remain a little bit of an event. They're not going to go off and share it with the other person. They're going to take on that role of facilitating an under control, calm environment for everyone.
Yeah.
The final reason why we say that dental receptionists are so important to your organisation is their management of complaints. Meaning, who's the first person that gets a complaint from a patient?
The lucky receptionist.
The most obvious one, of course, is bill shock or invoice shock at the front desk. How much? I didn't know it was going to cost me that much. And so sometimes that's the complaint. But sometimes there are other complaints, and they're going to ring the practice up or come to the practice with that complaint, and they're going to be speaking to the receptionist about it. And that receptionist's ability to manage that complaint effectively can play an enormous role with the level of professionalism that you are putting out there to your patient base.
They too need to have the confidence to have difficult conversations, because they will be dealing with them from time to time.
And we've got a very simple 3-step process of dealing with patient complaints. And it's such a wonderful thing once you've got a system under your belt. It's such a wonderful thing, because no longer do you fear these patient complaints. You know what to do about it.
That's right.
And so they're the 8 reasons why we believe that dental receptionists are so crucial to your dental practice. And it's because of that we developed the Dental Reception Mastery course. As we mentioned before, 50 lessons, 9 hours of instructional video around it. Ameena and I are available on demand anytime to answer any questions. We jump online, on phone, with a Zoom session, whatever suits, and help walk you through whatever challenge you've got at the time. And so this mastery course really is for any level, whether they're a brand new receptionist to the role, whether they've been in reception for a number of years and been quite experienced, but even for the dental practice owners and managers to understand all the lessons held within this course, it's going to allow them to support their receptionists far more easily.
I agree. And I think they're, usually quite under-supported, under-trained, and not really invested in. I mean, the clinicians get to their courses and keep up their skills and learn new things, but there's not as much opportunity for the support staff in dentistry. And with us losing so many people from the profession, I think we've got to need to make a commitment to support and train our staff, engage them, value them, and hopefully we'll end up with many more wonderfully trained people.
That's for sure. So it is an online course. It's on demand. So whether you take a month to move through the lessons, a year to go through the lessons, it's really up to the user. And it's a one-off payment. And once they got enrollment into the course itself, they've got access forever to all the data and all the lessons, because we can't learn that swiftly and implement everything that swiftly, can we, Ameena? We sometimes need a few weeks or months to then go, oh, now I'm ready for that, to implement that section of the receptionist course.
That's right. And with a changing environment, it's a perfect opportunity because you can buy it for your practice, and then if people were to move on, you can just slip them into the fee that you've already paid.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. We want to try to make it easy as possible for everyone to be able to access this crucial information. And as you were mentioning before, Ameena, this is a way of stepping further and more deeply and more meaningfully into the role. And when you do that, it's been, Ameena, and my experience that when we go to these additional efforts, that we gain a far greater job satisfaction out of our work.
Absolutely.
So if you are interested as a dental receptionist, as a dental practice manager or owner, to train an existing dental receptionist, please go to our website, dentalbusinessmastery.com.au. Go to online courses and you'll find the Dental Reception Mastery course right there with a whole bunch of information. And you can also reach out to us anytime, info@dentalbusinessmastery.com.au. Other contact details are on the website as well. Reach out anytime. We're happy to jump online and step you through the course one-on-one.